Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on role-based access control in Bold BI. Before getting into the details, let me briefly explain what role-based access is. Role-based access control is a method of administrating access permissions for users or groups based on roles assigned to them. In Bold BI, it enhances security and reduces the risk of unauthorized access to your dashboards. In this video, we will see how to add users and groups, manage permissions, and assign permissions to users and groups by using the role-based access feature in Bold BI. First, let's add users. A user is an individual who can create, edit, and share dashboards, depending on the permissions assigned to them. A user can only be added, edited, or deleted by users in the System Administrator group. The System Administrator group is created automatically when you start the Bold BI application for the first time. To add an individual user, go to the Bold BI dashboard homepage and click Users from the Action menu. Click New User. A drop-down will be displayed. To add a single user, select Add User. You can also import users from CSV files, databases, Active Directory, and Azure AD. The Add User dialog will be displayed. Fill in the necessary fields and click Add. A new account will be created for the user and activated automatically. Alternatively, if you want to require the user to activate their account through an activation link that is emailed to them, change the user activation mode to email. Until they activate their account, its status will be inactive. The activation link is valid for only 2 days. If the user has not activated their account within that time, a new activation link can be sent to them by clicking Resend Activation Code on the User Edit page. Now, let's see how to edit and remove a user. To edit a user, click their username from the name column, and then click Edit Profile. After making changes, click Save to save them. Users can be removed from Bold BI when they no longer require access. You can remove a user in 3 ways. First, you can open the Action menu on the right side of the user's profile page to access the option to remove the user. Second, identify the user from the Users page. Click More Options, and then select Remove User. Lastly, you can choose the user on the Users page, and then open the More Options button to access the Remove User option. Users can be deactivated at any time. While deactivated, the users cannot log into Bold BI. To deactivate a user, select Deactivate User from the Actions menu on the User Edit page. Deactivated users can be reactivated at any time. To activate a user, select Activate User from the Actions menu on the User Edit page. Now let's add a group. Groups are collections of users. Bold BI provides an option to categorize users based on their roles. Instead of assigning permissions to every user individually, you can assign users to a group and then assign permissions to the group. To create a new group, move to the Groups page. Click New Group, and then select Create Group from the drop-down list. Fill in the group name and description fields, and click Add. Groups can also be added from Active Directory, Azure AD, OAuth, and OpenID in bulk. Click the group. The Edit Group page will open. To add a user, open the Add User drop-down. The list of users is displayed. Select the user you want to add from the drop-down. If you want to add multiple users to the group at the same time, press and hold the Control key while selecting users. Click Add to add the selected users to the group. You can delete a group by clicking Manage on the group page and selecting Delete Group. You can also choose the group you want to delete in the group list, and then click the Delete Groups button. Or you can click the action menu for the group and select Delete. Now, let's see how to manage permissions for users and groups. Permissions can be managed only by users belonging to the System Administrator group. They can be directly assigned to both users and groups. Bold BI organizes permissions into 4 categories: all resources, specific resources, all settings, and lastly, specific settings. Permissions are further classified through the entity, access mode, and scope structures. An entity is a resource in Bold BI, such as a dashboard, a data source, or a schedule. The table lists the entities you can control access to through permissions. After selecting an entity, you select the scope, which specifies the resources and settings of the entity the user can access. Scope selection is only available for the specific resources and specific settings entities. After selecting a scope, you select an access mode. This table explains the permissions granted by the various access modes. Now let's see how to assign permissions to users. You can add permissions from a user's profile page or through the Manage Permissions page. I'm going to use the latter, so on the Users page, I click Manage Permissions from the Action menu in the User list. The Manage Permissions page will open. I click Add Permission in the top right corner. The Add Permission dialog will open. For this demo, I select Specific Dashboard as the entity. The Scope field displays the list of dashboards in the Bold BI server. I select the Support Tickets dashboard from the list. I choose Read as the access mode. Since I've selected the permission I want to assign, I click Add. After adding it, the page will open again. You can add more permissions as needed. For this demo, we will utilize the already assigned permissions. You will see that permission was added for the user. Since I have only provided read permission for the dashboard, the user can only view the dashboard. As you can see in the Action menu, they cannot edit, delete, or download it. Now let's see how to add permissions for groups. Go to Groups. I will use the previously created group. You can add permissions for a group by clicking Manage Permissions from the Action menu, or by selecting Manage Permissions from the Manage button at the top of the group profile page. I click the Manage Permission option from the Manage button, and then I click Add Permission. For this demo, I select all categories as the entity. I choose Read, Write, and Delete as the access mode. I click the Add button, and then close the window. You will see that permission was added to the group. Since I added the Read, Write, and Delete access modes to all categories, the Edit and Delete options are available in the Action menu. Now let's see what happens when a user account has some permissions that are different from the permissions assigned to a group that the user is in. On the Users page, click Manage Permissions. In the Manage Permissions page, click Add Permission in the top right corner. The Add Permission dialog will open. Like before, I am giving the user read permission for a specific dashboard. This time it's the customer service dashboard. Then, I create a new group on the Groups page and name it Technical Group. I add the user to that group. And I grant download permission to that group for the customer service dashboard. The list of permissions the user has will be displayed on the Manage Permissions page. Since I have added the user to the technical group, which has download permission for the customer service dashboard, the user also receives download permission for that dashboard. The download option is enabled for them in the dashboard's action menu. Let me further explain with another example. Consider a situation in which there are 3 groups using the Bold BI server. Managers, team leads, and engineers. To each group, I am adding a unique user. For the managers group, I am providing read, write, and delete permissions for all resources. For the team leads group, I am providing read and write permission in a specific category. For the engineers group, I am providing read permission in a specific category, marketing. Let's see the permissions provided to users. Since I gave the managers group the all categories scope and entity, a user in that group can open, edit, and delete any resource in any category. Next, let's consider a user in the team leads group. Since I provided the scope and entity as a specific category and the access permission as read and write, the user can open and edit any item in the chosen category. However, the user is not able to delete items and cannot create a dashboard, schedule, data source, or slideshow. Lastly, let's take a look at a user in the engineers group. Since I provided the scope and entity as a specific category and the access permission as read, the user can only view items in the selected category. The user cannot edit or delete items, nor create a dashboard, schedule, data source, or slideshow. In this video, we have covered how to add users and groups in Bold BI and how to manage their permissions. Stay tuned to this channel for our upcoming videos on Bold BI. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.